It's championship night in Atlanta. Alabama and Georgia battling out for the College Football Playoff National Championship. Welcome to our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. And we will be with you as we count down to kickoff here in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Georgia and Alabama dog players just getting out on the field, warming up. Got the special teams folks getting out, the long snappers, the punters, and the kickers all getting used to Mercedes-Benz Stadium before tonight's big game. We are now 76 minutes and 30 seconds away from kickoff. Cody Chaffins and Ken Rodriguez with you. We'll be joining Justin Felder in just a little bit, and we're just kind of hanging out here, giving you on-field access that you can't get if you didn't spend thousands of dollars to get in this building. So sit back, enjoy it in your nice, hopefully warm, dry space, and count down to kickoff with us. Taking a look out, who do we see? Cameron Nislik, Georgia's punter, off to the right here. Blaine, number 93, right on the end zone line. Getting used to things. He, of course, transferred in. He's an Ivy League grad, transferred in from Columbia. It's a big key for Georgia, some of those special teams plays. And special teams, when you get Nick Saban and you get Kirby Smart together, they put a lot of priority on special teams. You think back to some of the big games. Georgia had the field goal block last week. You think back to that 2012, there was a field goal block return for a touchdown. Nick Saban's team's always blocking punts. So it's definitely going to be a factor tonight at special teams.
Well, I remember that game. What a heartbreaker. Alec Ogletree returning that block all the way back. What a great memory right up until the very end. Who was it? Cooper caught that big touchdown pass from A.J. McCarron. Oh.
And Chris Conley caught the pass he shouldn't have at the end from Aaron Murray, who, by the way, is wandering around here. Looks like he's going to be doing some radio sideline for somebody tonight, as there's all kinds of broadcasts coming out of this building between ESPN, and you've got the folks broadcasting it nationally, the Georgia broadcast, the Alabama broadcast. So if you don't know what's going on, that's your own fault tonight with everything being broadcast out. Follow us all night long on our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page, on our Fox 5 Sports Twitter feed, and use the hashtag GoDogsFox5 all night. We want your reactions from your armchair. Give us Dad when Georgia scores. We want to see that video of Dad going crazy. Send it to us, and we may get it on the air at some point tonight. I can tell you, Ken, one thing totally different. So last week we're out at the Rose Bowl, and it's hot before game time, and it was not nearly this loud. It really, I sense it more now, having been out there, how loud this dome is, and it's not even full yet.
Compared to, well, the game hasn't started. I was going to ask you to make a comparison.
Georgia fans got loud last week. Yeah. The echoes in here are definitely real and something that is going to affect both teams. And you get the sense, like an SEC championship, that you're not going to get a home team because it's going to be loud in here the entire day. And as you look up at the ceiling, part of the reason is all the exposed metal in this building. Some places like Ford Field in Detroit, they decided to cover up some of their metal. Well, in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they haven't. And so everything keeps echoing around. The sound is bouncing around, and you probably noticed that watching us.
I should mention that Super Blaine is behind the camera, providing all the shots for us.
We appreciate
Blaine,
Super Blaine. And Blaine, if you go about the 50-yard line, you can see your man, Rodrigo Blankenship, warming up in his
That's our guy.
patented
future broadcaster. He says he's a future broadcaster.
He is apparently in the Grady School of Journalism over at UGA. I can attest to some quality journalists they put out, and he's getting warmed up. He has kicked in this stadium before, and that's one of the things, there's only 9 teams who have ever played a college football game in this stadium. Auburn's played twice, Georgia played Auburn, and then Auburn played in the Peach Bowl against who some are calling the true national champions in UCF, but you also had the 2 kickoff games this year where Alabama beat then number 2 Florida State at that time, so they have experience in this building as well. So both teams kind of used to it. Georgia played in here just about a month ago.
And listen, the building itself, what a showcase for Atlanta. When you hear the price tag, $1.5 billion, you go, are you kidding me? I'm still saying, are you kidding me? But what a place.
And
I can tell you right now, my ears are jamming.
It is definitely getting loud in here as they're firing up the crowd on the Halo board, which what you're taking a look at now. And that's what it all looks like. Darius Rucker was in the building. I don't know if I think he is playing later, or he has already played at Centennial Park. Pardon me for not knowing the AT&T Playlist Live lineup for tonight, but Darius Rucker in the house, also taking a look at some of the other fans in the building right now. And this one, like last week, going to be hard to tell how many Georgia, how many Bama, because the colors are so similar.
You would think Georgia would have an advantage in that category, but, Alabama travels. They love Atlanta. This is practically a home game for them. They've been here so many times, although this is their second game here, having played in that kickoff against Florida State. Right now, it's just special teams players out there. The only quarterback, Bryce Ramsey, and Lord help us if it gets down to that. Although he's done a good job punting in the past.
He's working on his punting right now, and that's what he became known for. I know Kirby Smart.
We don't even want him punting tonight.
Very thankful that he did come back and give Georgia some much-needed quarterback depth, especially after Jacob Eason went down early in the year. But with Justin Fields coming in and Ramsey now a senior, this will be it for him. Final game in red and black, and there's final game for so many players in red and black tonight. You look at some of those seniors that came back: Sonia Michelle, Nick Chubb, Lorenzo Carter, Davin Bellamy, Dominic Sanders. It's all for this.
Kind of curious now to see which seniors or rising seniors will stay one more year. Have they started something? Have they started a trend of senior leadership, of staying one more year? I'll be curious to see who does.
And looks like we got somebody. Maybe we can get him stock. No.
Heinz you got a second? Fox 5? Heinz Ward, everybody.
High five in your face.
In your face. That's right, from Forest Bay.
Man, we go way back.
Very nice. Cody, come in here. We were kind of curious. Well, I know who you're rooting for, but what do you think about the game?
Man, I'm really excited about it. I mean, it's kind of like the stars are aligned. I mean, Georgia's playing for the national title right here in Atlanta. The state of Georgia's excited. And I can't say enough about Jake Fromm. I mean, think about it. He was in high school last year, in the face right there. And then now he's playing for a national title. So I really think he's the key to Georgia's success. If he plays well, I think we'll have a national championship tonight.
Not only is he a great dancer, but he's one of the toughest guys on the planet. One of my most vivid memories of you at Georgia was playing quarterback with a broken hand. Yeah. Do you remember that? Has it healed yet?
No, I still lost a little flexion, but you know what? It was worth it. I mean, I'm happy for Kirby Smart doing all he's doing for our alma mater, at Georgia. But I'm super excited about the opportunity for these guys. And Sonia Michelle, Nick Chubb, what better way to go out as seniors than win the national championship?
What does it mean to you to have an alum running this team now with Kirby Smart back in charge?
It's good because it's all about keeping the recruits in state. And I think Kirby's a great guy for the job. He's done a tremendous job of keeping the talent here, going out and getting other little pieces to help build a championship. But I'm just super excited. I know all the guys. I saw Trey, Tolbert. Those guys are all over there. Dax. I mean, everybody's cheering for Kirby, man. It's like a brotherhood that will last forever. So, if Georgia does well, we all do well. So we're super excited.
What are you doing?
Yeah, we appreciate it. Take care. Former high five star.
That's an all-timer right there.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to walk by and talk to us as we bring you.
He's a great dancer. Oh, yeah, he played some football, too.
Oh, yeah. And now he's taking our job. He's trying to do broadcasting as well. So another person taking our job, just like Rodrigo Blankenship.
I gave him too much airtime.
Taking a look back out on the field, you can see the long snappers again warming up. If you can see beyond some of the guys warming up, the clubs are already getting packed in here. A lot of folks getting in, and this is the difference between Sanford Stadium and a place like this. The beer's flowing tonight at the national championship game. Not sure how that will affect the crowd noise, but I'm sure it may get a little louder because of that.
What do you think? The only thing that'll top this is an Atlanta United game. Well, yes or no?
Atlanta United can pack this place out, but I got a feeling it's going to be a little more so tonight. They got the extra bleachers way up at the top, which they've pulled out, and those people are paying $1,000 just to sit way up there. We're not too far away, by the way.
No.
It's not that much better being a media member. Trust us. We will be up in the nosebleeds tonight.
Justin is trying to get uncoiled. No? Untangled. He's running away from us. All right. Probably hunting down the president. Understand President Trump is in the building. Justin, of course, informed us that the building is leaking, but it stopped. Always with the bad news.
Still hadn't figured out the roof. It wasn't going to be open tonight anyway, so we're not too worried about it. But yeah, like you said, President Trump is in the house, and that has caused some problems with folks getting into this building. Security outside was very similar to what we saw in Houston at the Super Bowl, where they had the bomb-sniffing dogs everywhere. But you had to pack your patience, and it makes it much tougher when there's a cold rain falling on you as you have to wait outside. So folks still trying to get in the building. It'll be interesting to see over the next hour how many folks are actually in their seats by kickoff.
Super Blaine's pointing out the band. Let's listen to the Redcoat Band right now. He's a big band guy.
Oh.
Right now what we're hearing is boos as Alabama marches onto the field. Looks like most of their special teams personnel as well.
Special teams like
just saw Gene Chizik, former national championship coach of the Auburn Tigers, walking on the field a little while ago. Don't know what he's doing.
Doing a little TV. Everybody wants to do TV.
Yeah.
It's so easy. So.
This is the place to be seen. And you mentioned the Super Bowl a little while ago. This is on par with a Super Bowl atmosphere. This game has grown so much and gotten so crazy that I feel like I'm in the Super Bowl.
I think everybody agrees the playoff has been a success so far. Everybody except for the folks down in Orlando right now, as they are not too happy, as they think they're the real national champions, the undefeated Central Florida Knights, who actually won on this field, beat Auburn not too long ago in the Peach Bowl.
Good for them. Good for them. That was a great season. There ought to be a special category.
There should be. And maybe one day the playoff will expand and they'll get some more
well, you know, I'm totally against that.
Super Blaine taking a look now at Sam Pittman. Do you have Sam Pittman down here in the end zone?
We're going to be arguing.
Yes, sir. Is that Sam Pittman? Georgia's offensive line coach, who is so much fun to talk to. I got to spend a little
Sam
time.
Pittman right there?
Got to spend a little time with them during media day out in the Rose Bowl, and he's such a delight. He'll talk serious football, and he can get on his players. We've been out at practice, and he's just on them like a good offensive line coach should. But he's also got a super light side, and part of that are those crazy Twitter videos he does every time somebody commits to Georgia.
And he's got the catchphrase of the year. Yes, sir.
Georgia's had how many catchphrases this year? They're keeping the main thing the main thing. They've got to keep chopping and attack the day, but my favorite's got to be the yes, sir. That's yes, so much more fun than all of those other serious ones.
And it's a good lesson for the kids. A good yes, sir goes a long way.
Also, to our left, and I'm not sure if Blaine can see him behind a security person over here, Jim Chaney out talking with some Alabama coaches, Georgia's offensive coordinator, and again, he may be behind some of our competition, maybe behind some security folks over there, but Jim Chaney, a man you got to spend a little time with on media day and get to know. He's also kind of a lighthearted guy as well.
Very light, very funny. He's a middle-aged guy. He's been pursued and courted to become a head coach, and he says he's just as happy as can be doing what he's doing right now. And he's really nurturing a couple of quarterbacks, back-to-back seasons, trying to nurture and bring along a couple of true freshman quarterbacks. He's got a full job, and he's doing a great job because Jake Fromm has really been one of the great surprises of this season.
I'm sure he learned a little bit last year of what to do with a freshman when he had to work with Jacob Eason. Jake Fromm has a little different skill set as well. Oh, Justin's got a special guest. Is it the Nature Boy? Justin, talk to me.
Where's he at?
My coach now is Jim Harbaugh. So I called Jim, I said, Jim, I got to jump on the bandwagon, man. Come on. So actually, what I said is the truth. So, cool.
So what's it like being a temporary, or maybe we'll see how long Jordan...
First of all, my stepdaughter runs the track field at Georgia. Yeah, she runs the long distance run, cross country and track and field. So I am a Bulldog. Yep.
Give me an idea what the reception you've been getting from fans here tonight is like.
Oh, tremendous. Nothing like it. This is a great wrestling town. Georgia's a great wrestling state, period. The respect is just overwhelming.
All right, Herschel, you mentioned had a little bit of wrestling time. What kind of position do you think makes the best wrestler if one of these guys wanted to give it a shot after football?
Oh, Roquan Smith. I already said it, man. That kid is unreal. They keep talking about the kid from Alabama, but that Roquan Smith Smith, man, the other guy gets over the hole anyway. He was spot on. He'd be a great pro wrestler.
All right, I know who you're pulling for. Give me a prediction for this game.
I'm going to stick with original number 21-17. Dogs.
I wouldn't be doing 12-year-old Justin my justice if I didn't ask for, I don't know, like a pep talk for the Georgia Bulldogs or something like that. I couldn't forgive myself.
Justin, right?
Yes.
Hey, Justin, it's a Nature Boy Ric Flair right here on Fox 5 News. Look as only I can look. Telling the whole world the Bulldogs are going to style, profile, limousine ride, jet fly to victory tonight. Woo! Woo!
That is such good stuff, Justin, with the Nature Boy.
Highlight of the night.
Woo! It's not going to get better than that.
You
It's all
just heard
downhill.
some classic Nature Boy. Limousine styling.
Justin playing the role of Mean Gene Okerlund tonight as he interviews the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And no offense, but I do think the man in that box, the presidential box tonight, he may not get as big of applause as if they put the Nature Boy up on the big
I
screen.
totally
Everybody
agree.
loves Ric Flair.
Totally agree with that.
And spent a lot of time in Atlanta in his WCW days, so no surprise he wanted to be here
Speaking
tonight.
of Jim Chaney, Super Blank, can you see him? You got him? There he is, the offensive coordinator for the Dogs. Out there on the field, as you can see, well, they're marching out on the field led by Jake Fromm. What a sight indeed for the folks who are lining up in this end zone. Dogs going for their first national championship since the 1980 season. Is this a team of destiny, Cody? There's only one way to prove that. And that's by beating Alabama, a team that's going for their fifth title under head coach Nick Saban.
Silver breeches and the red jerseys look a little bit crisper under the lights at Mercedes-Benz Stadium tonight as you're looking at some of the Dogs getting ready. Jake Fromm taking snaps from his center, Lamont Gilliard, who has also stepped in brilliantly this year. Both of those guys first-year starters for the Dogs. Jacob Eason also taking snaps, getting ready. And then right in front of us, Sony Michel from down in Florida, came to Georgia, and he's made himself a legend, especially with the walk-off winner last week at the Rose Bowl. He and Nick Chubb accounting for 6 total touchdowns in that game. Sony had a couple rushing. He had one receiving. And Michelle's going to go. Can you imagine if Nick Chubb wasn't here, Sony Michel would be way up there, as of same with Chubb without Michel.
Right,
with the
one.
two together, still.
And it made the offense better because when they bring in fresh legs, you include the Andre Swift in there and Brian Harrion and Holyfield. Those fresh legs are devastating on an opposing defense that's already tired. You mentioned South Florida. You know, Dogs in the running for that big cornerback that's down there. And you got to believe Sony Michel's success up here in Georgia may have a lot to do with his decision.
Georgia's very strong down in the Miami area. You also have Riley Ridley, who comes from that area, from Coconut Creek. And the Ridley brothers, one of the other interesting stories in this game. Riley Ridley, a sophomore at Georgia, has made some big plays. What comes to mind is that play at the end of the Tennessee game last year. But on the other side, that's the Ridley you've probably heard of a little more. Calvin Ridley, #1 wide receiver, Biletnikoff Award winner finalist. And that's the guy that Georgia's going to have to stop. #3 from Alabama today. And he can make big plays and stretch out a defense.
Well, you're right here on the field with us, Facebook Live-in, watching the Dogs get ready for the big game. We are down to 57 minutes before kickoff.
A lot of folks in here getting their Instagram pictures. Everybody's filming everything. And if I paid that money to get in this building, I'd be filming everything too. We ask if you are at home filming or want to tweet us anything, use the hashtag #GoDogsFox5 so we can see it and maybe use some of your pictures on the air at other times tonight. Tyler Simmons, one of our unsung heroes, we did a story about. From McEachern High School.
Thank you very much.
Wide receiver out of McEachern, had a catch in the last game, also down to punt inside the 2-yard line. Again, those special teams, those unsung heroes. Who's going to be Tyler Simmons this week? Who's going to be Tyler Clark, the big defensive lineman who had a big sack last week? Who's going to step up? Who's going to be the guy that we haven't talked about since he was in high school who's going to make a big play tonight? Because we expect the big plays from the Nick Chubbs and the Jake Froms, but it's going to be that other person. And Georgia missing one of those players as we don't see Charlie Warner out here warming up, who's the tight end of Rabin County. We see Isaac Nada, who has made big plays for the Dogs, but Warner, another player last week who could have been an unsung hero, made some big catches last week.
I say watch out for the tight ends. We've seen, Alabama's going to adjust. They've seen Jake Fromm throwing the whims and the backs. You've seen very little out of the tight ends. I would think if Alabama shuts down the wide receivers and the running backs, that'll open things up for the tight ends.
And taking a look now, you see number 2. That is Jason Stanley. Stanley out of Creekside High School down in Fairburn. He is back playing tonight. He was suspended for the Rose Bowl game. Of course, was arrested in Barrow County after the SEC championship game, along with Natrez Patrick, who is not playing tonight. But Stanley back out on the field. He's another one of those guys that Kirby Smart has been praising all year, saying that's the guy on special teams to watch because he moves down the field so fast and he can make so many big plays. Justin's back with us. Let's come back out, Blaine. Let's walk out just so we can talk to Justin. Are you still shaking a little bit? How are you feeling?
That was fun. Hey, the Nature Boy and the Georgia Bulldogs fan.
He gave you the whole repertoire.
Oh, we got the whole thing.
You didn't get half Nate, you got full Nate.
We got full style and profile. And his daughter runs track for UGA, so he's adopted the Bulldogs. Jim Harbaugh gave him permission as a Michigan fan. He said he used to be a Florida fan for Spurrier. He's a coach's guy. So we'll see if Kirby Smart can kind of get in there.
You want to have Ric Flair on your side. He said in his video that he posted on his YouTube channel, he had to ask permission from not only Jim Harbaugh, but also Julio Jones, who's a big fan.
That makes sense as an Alabama guy. But how about that with Roquan Smith as a possible pro wrestler? Speaking of one day maybe pro wrestlers, I don't know. A guy who's got
Shellman, Georgia's own. Thomas Davis in the house. Tell us you could not be here, right?
Oh, definitely couldn't miss this opportunity to watch my dogs play.
How about this turnaround under Kirby Smart, getting here in just his second year?
Very excited to see what Kirby has done with the program. And, a lot of these are Mark Richt holdovers, but Kirby has done a tremendous job.
What's been the most fun part of watching Georgia, being able to brag to some of those guys in the locker room?
Absolutely. Just seeing the success of the football team and watching these young guys come together and knowing that the future of the program is in a really good place. I'm excited about that.
What's it say about the SEC? 2 SEC teams in this game.
I think it really speaks volumes for the best conference in all of college football.
It's going to be smash mouth, your kind of game tonight.
Absolutely. I'm going to love watching this. Thank you.
Thomas Davis joining us from the Carolina Panthers, former Georgia Bulldog, number 10.
Ageless wonder. I mean, what must this offseason workout be like?
We got to figure that out because I don't know what water he's drinking, the Fountain of Youth, but he's got to figure it out.
I mean, multiple knee surgeries. I believe he broke an arm a couple of years ago.
And played yesterday. We didn't bring it up. Cody
I did
one of the fastest guys on the field.
He's all over the place. In that Week 17 game, my goodness, it would have been a Falcons runaway if he wasn't catching Devontae Freeman by the ankles. But you know what? Thomas Davis, one in a long line of great linebackers. Ric Flair mentioned Roquan Smith, but how about them and the impact that those linebackers could have for Georgia on this game?
It's going to be huge tonight. Those guys are going to have to stuff the run. Alabama wants to establish a run. Wouldn't be surprised if Georgia puts an extra guy in the box and they need to control that. That's where they're going to miss Natrez Patrick, but they're going to have guys like Reggie Carter step up and make
big
plays.
Big challenge when Jalen Hurts decides to tuck and run. That'll be their biggest challenge. But I believe they can stop the run. It's when Jalen Hurts decides he's going to run. That's the problem.
That's the speed of Roquan Smith, who will have to play like Thomas Davis or like a Deion Jones for the Falcons and spy him a little bit, make sure he can't make those big chunk plays.
And the thing is, when's the last time we've heard Trent Thompson making a big play? John Atkins, the big guys that are asked a lot of the time to going side to side, Baker Mayfield here and there. This game, Alabama would like to run at you. So can Trenton Thompson make a play in the backfield? Can they knock a ball out? Or you know what? Can it just be a stalemate in there? Can those runs be 1, 2, and 3 yards instead of 7, 8, and 9 yards?
All right, we're going to step out of the way one more time so you can see what's going on the field. A little more action than we saw just a little bit ago as you see Jake Fromm and Sony Michel getting loose together. This is like last week where we didn't see Nick Chubb out with those specialty guys, not out here catching passes, but he'll be out here soon enough as the Dogs continue to get ready. Thank you for joining us on our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. 52:07 on the countdown clock, so we've only got a few more minutes here. You interviewed Ric Flair, talked about Georgia wrestlers that we would be, we cannot forget that Bill Goldberg, of course, a former Georgia Bulldog.
A good one.
Had a pretty good wrestling career as well.
And Herschel Walker has had MMA time in there. Yeah, and you know what? It's that physicality. It's the wrestling in the trenches, I guess, in this one. It's that hand fighting. I mean, we all watched what Aaron Donald did against the Falcons' offensive line, just being able to swat guys away. Can you get the guy to the ground? You don't need a 3-count pin in this one, but a missed tackle can really quickly turn into 20 yards, 7 points. It could be anything. And I'll tell you what, the band is playing. Guys are lining up by the tunnel, Cody. What do you think that means?
Here they come. A little Krypton fanfare, and the lights are already out in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Number 74 coming right at us, Ben Cleveland out of Toccoa. He is the mountain of the man from Currahee Mountain up in Stevens County.
And check it out, wearing the all red. Remember, Cody, this is the home team in this game. They got to pick those jerseys. They got the classic red jerseys, gray breeches, and we got Kirby Smart out here leading the warm-ups, clapping along. He's still got his rain gear out from outside. I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to stay dry in here. It's a big moment, but he's been on this stage before.
And there's going to be big moments tonight, all night. Who's going to rise to the occasion? Will it be the Crimson Tide of Alabama? Will it be those Georgia Bulldogs in all red as they start to get loose and we start to wind things down as we get close to kickoff here? Taking a look at the Halo board, and there's number 27 from Cedartown, Georgia, Nick Chubb. Ken, you were there when this all started for Nick, and now it's going to wrap up tonight. Nick Chubb, what a career.
That was a great day. Now, the funny thing about Nick, you've interviewed him, you know how quiet he is. He has not changed one bit.
And there's the other Nick, Nick Saban in Alabama, coming onto the field. Back in 2015, when these two teams played in the rain in Athens, there was a pregame skirmish. Not sure we'll see that tonight, as folks will keep things clean, and we'll wait for kickoff. We're going to wrap things up here on the Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. Come back all together. Thank you for joining us for the championship kickoff earlier. And guys, final thoughts on this game as we get ready for kickoff?
Well, I'm not a predictor
guy, we know.
I don't like to do that, but I will tell you, the last thing I said before the Rose Bowl game is I feel good about it. I'll leave it at that.
I think it's going to come down to turnovers. It's hanging on to the ball. You nearly saw Sony Michel's fumble late in the Rose Bowl cost them the game. This is two evenly matched, similar teams that love to run it. Who can avoid the special teams turnover? The long run going for extra yards. It's 1 or 2 plays that'll determine the trophy.
Cody, we talked about it during our championship kickoff special that these teams are so crazy similar that it's just a matter of who's going to outpull the other one.
There'll be a name we're talking about tomorrow that is not even on our radar right now. Somebody's going to make a big play.
Be one of the tight ends
and win their team a championship tonight. All right, we want to thank you all for joining us on our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. Be sure to tweet us using the hashtag GoDogsFox5 as we get closer to kickoff, and we may use some of those in the post-game show. And if the Dogs win, you better believe we'll be on air and right back here on the Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. From Justin Felder and Ken Rodriguez, I'm Cody Chaffins. We'll see you after the game.
Thanks for watching.